Alright, so today we're going to go over the operation and what to look for when these machines come back from rental. And this is a SLC 24. Okay, so this machine will actually go up 24 high. That's what that stands for. It's used to lift up heaters, air conditioners, signs, whatever you really need. It's got a set of forks right here. We can use these forks, put our equipment on, raise it up in the air, and in order to do that we have to have all of the outrigger legs out and set down on the ground so we're not having anything tip over on us. We're going to go over the operation on how to set the legs down. These big legs right here, during storage, these pins, you just pull them up, and these legs will actually fold all the way straight up. Storage and transport, they'll be in the up position. We have them down so we can show you how this machine works here. So all we did was pull this pin, fold the legs down, put the pin back in. That's how these lock in. These ones here, we have two, one on each side. Okay, there's a lever right here. So what we do is we push down here, real simple. We just push down, and that'll allow this leg to actually come all the way down to the ground. Okay, once these are locked in that position, then from that point we're ready to raise and lower this machine. Okay, we want to have the wheels in the down position. We have several little eyelets here. Okay, these eyelets, we'll get into this on where to put these and why they have these here a little bit later in the video. We're going to have it in a fold down position, so when we're using this crank handle, our hands aren't hitting this and we can go full revolution around. Now, we also have a set of forks that we have to put on this machine. In order to get the forks on, there is a pin right here. And this pin, you just pull out on one side, and the forks actually slide up from the bottom. You have to raise this up about 2 foot, get it up, slide the forks in there, and then lock this pin in, and just make sure that this is folded down. We also have a lock mechanism here. So this lock mechanism is there for during transportation when we're moving this in and out of a vehicle, and we'll go over that a little bit later in the video also. To get this to unlock though, we're going to come to this other side here. We're simply going to lower this, and it will lower the forks down. Once it gets lowered down to a certain point, you got a handle here you pull out. So we're pull out, and then we bring it back, and it folds right into that position. That's in the stowed position for it to work. Now we're all set up to use this machine. We also want to make sure that we check up above us. Nothing's up there for power lines, anything like that, that we may hit once we're raising this up. To get it to raise up, it's real simple. It's all handheld, hand operated. We just simply crank on this, and you always want to make sure that you have a handle on this for the weight that you have on there, because you don't want this machine to come back down, because the weight that you have up there, will make this machine come back down. So you want to hold this sturdy and not let go of the handle. Okay, so once we crank this up there, you just keep cranking it to whatever height you need. It'll get up so high, this is just the first section. It'll get up so high, and once it gets up so high, it'll grab the next section, and you'll see the next section start going up. Once the next section starts going up, you'll see it'll stop, and then you'll see the second section go up. And it does that for all 4 sections. It'll go up, and that'll give you your full 24 foot in height straight up. Again, We always want to make sure we have a hold of this. And once you get your forks up there to wherever you need, you can also move this around a little bit, get it to wherever you want. These do have locks on them. So we have locks on our wheels. We want to make sure that these are locked once we get it to wherever we need. To unlock them, you just fold them the other way. So once we're done with this whole machine, we get our job done, we're going to put this in the back of a vehicle. Okay, we want to always make sure we bring this down to our full stowed position down here. From there, we're going to go back to this lock mechanism. We're going to pull out this, and then it locks back in here. So we always want to use that because that will keep this cable back here nice and tight. If you don't keep this cable tight during transportation, moving it in and out of a vehicle, what you're going to have is this cable will actually come loose off of the pulleys. So that's a really important item on these. Stops a lot of problems from happening with the cables. So in order to fold this up and get it into the back of somebody's vehicle, you're going to do the same process, just an opposite. So we have this locked. We would take this and press down on these levers again. So we're going to press down on these, and then the actual wheel will fold up to its locked and stowed position. We're going to do that to the next one. So we're going to push down, and we're going to raise up. And that's in its stowed position. So from there, we have it's in its stowed position. This is in its locked position. Now we need to pull up the main legs on this. In order to do that, you really have to kind of like lift on the machine a little bit and then pull these out, and then these will fold up, okay? Once you get those all folded up, then the machine is virtually ready to go into the back of somebody's vehicle. To get it to go into the back of somebody's vehicle, these are really easy. 1-2 people can load them in the back of a truck. They make a pivot point right here, and that's what these pinholes are for. So if we take these, and we take this pin, and this is in our working position, we take this and we move this all the way up to this top hole here. Okay, slide that pin back in. This is in its position to load onto a tailgate. Okay, and all you do is you roll it up to the back of somebody's tailgate, and like I said, 1 or 2 people can load this or unload this. It will actually tip. There's a roller here at the very top, these 2 rollers, and then we have this roller, and then we have these 2 wheels. These 3 sets of wheels and rollers are all made for when you're putting it in the back of a truck, a van, on the back of a trailer. So you can basically, this gives it a pivot point, and it will actually just tip right into the back. You roll it up to the tailgate, and that's why they offer different heights for this pin. So if your tailgate doesn't sit up that high, you can drop it down 1 more. Okay, so whichever one of these you want to use for the tailgate height or trailer height, that'll give it its pivot point, so you can tip this whole machine right back, and then it will actually roll on this, and this other set of tires, and you can push it right into the back of the truck or van or onto the trailer. Real simple to do. Taking it out is the same thing. They put these bars here specifically for when you're putting it on a tailgate, because these bars here will actually give it its pivot point, and it will actually slide on these bars also once you get it on the tailgate, and it'll fold and sit down real nice. So you don't have to slam these around much. It's not a necessity to pick them up with a forklift or anything like that. Other than that, for maintenance on these, it's real simple. Every once in a while, we want to put a piece of cardboard underneath this portion of it. And once we do that, we're going to come to the front side here. There's a bunch of rollers in here, and we're just going to throw some light lube, as far as like a garage door lube. Tons of different products out there. Something just to give it a real light lube on this guide here. And you're just going to raise it up with a piece of cardboard. You'll spray it, raise it up, keep raising. In each section that goes up, you're just going to spray it. And your extra will drop off. Just let it sit and then lower it back down. And that's basically all the real maintenance you have to do to these. Every once in a while, periodically, you want to check your cables, your pulleys, make sure that everything's tight. No cables are frayed or anything like that. Make sure nothing's bent. Make sure your tires and wheels are all good. Other than that, it's really all there is to it.